Right then, as the season is drawing to a crescendo, all eyes are going to start to focus on get this deal done for who's going to own us for the next decade or so. And then it's all about what striker are Manchester United going to be able to bring in. I'm probably going to do a series of different videos looking at possible different budgets, a marquee striker, a budget striker, which ones are available and are free, because not only do we need one, I can sit here and comfortably make the case that we need two strikers. Probably a marquee one and perhaps someone who's on the up that could maybe take over from him in a few years, or at least provide some sort of a backup while they're learning their trade. Both of those things could be needed and used for Manchester United next season, comfortably. We know the main ones. Your Kane, your Osimhen. These lads are going to be spendy. And I don't know, certainly from the face of things of what's being said, the FFP situation that United find ourselves in at the moment, would it be prudent to put our entire budget on that? And I know that you can spin this a million different ways. Yeah, you can sign one of those and then you can sell like 7 players and then you could sign another one of those. It gets a little bit iffy, doesn't it? You know, we've seen all the different rumours suggesting that there's potentially limited funds that are going to be available. So I think it's, especially when you consider what we definitely need to reinforce other areas, I think we're going to have to look at some potentially cheaper options. Now, one that's cropped up in the last couple of days is Gift Orban, Nigerian striker, is currently playing for Ghent, 20 years of age. The valuation is 15 to 20 million. You throw United tax on that, you're looking at adding 20 million on that. 35 to 40 million, it still puts him in good stead. 2002 birthday, started his career locally before moving to Norway and playing for Stabæk. Not that long ago, by the way. Had a successful season at Stabæk, scoring 16 in 22. In January of this year, he moved to Ghent for a reported fee of 9 million. Now, they could really cash in at the moment. Represented Nigeria at the underage groups, 17s and 20s, yet to make an international appearance, which might be something that United can really cash in on with Orban. The fact he's not made his international appearance might keep the fee south of 40 million. This season, he's had some impressive numbers, comfortably impressive numbers. Scored 14 league goals in 13 appearances domestically. He's also bagged 5 and 6 in the Europa Conference. That's incredible for a 20-year-old. No settling in period whatsoever. He's averaging a goal every 75 minutes. It's the Belgian league. Yeah, it's also the Belgian league where you saw the likes of Kevin De Bruyne come up through, where Lukaku came up through, where Eden Hazard came up through. Just because it's where you start doesn't mean that's where you end up. And United have reportedly sent scouts to watch him as well. And he was there last weekend as they beat Cercle Bruges 4-0 in a European playoff game. How did he do? Oh, he bagged a hat-trick. He's also scored 5 in those 3 playoff games as well. So big games is starting to show up. Not just United that are interested in. Barcelona seem to be sniffing. Leeds, they've got bigger fish to fry, I reckon, so they need to chill. Chelsea, okay, we know they need a striker. Spurs, forget about it. He also came out with an interesting quote wondering about why Arsenal don't look like they want to win the league. So he might have a little bit of character about him. We know what he's about. He's a dribbler. He's powerful. He's got a little bit of pace and elegance, change of direction. He's a good poacher. And he's scored so many goals just by being in the right place at the right time. And that's something that strikers are supposed to develop a little bit later in their career. So if he's getting that sort of decision-making done this early in his career, that's a very positive trait, I think. Seems to have confidence, calmness, composure. Doesn't look like he's playing stressed in the slightest. He's quick. He can receive the ball in behind. Seems to get a lot of 1v1 chances due to the fact that he's breaking the lines at the right time, which also shows he can read the game well and he's got good timing on his runs. And his one-to-one finishing is very good. Very right-footed, but he does often find the net with it. So what's the case for United signing? The price and the age. He might come in at United and start. That'd be a bit of a stretch, I think, though. It's more likely that you're probably going to see him coming in as an understudy to someone. He does have a contract until 2027. So United will probably have to pay over what his current valuation is, but the fact he's still not made an international appearance keeps it in the probably sensible sort of bracket. And it isn't a finished project. There's definitely a lot of work in his game for him to improve. So if United did sign him, I'd still be going, and then? Who else are we getting? Because that's a lot of pressure to put on some kid. Like, well done, there's the number 9 shirt, don't fuck it up, in a bit. Like, that is a hell of a lot of pressure to put on a kid. He is getting good numbers. I think this is the perfect guy that you play in those early rounds of the Champions League, early rounds of the FA Cup, early rounds of the League Cup, 20 minutes in the league. This is the guy that you get to keep the pressure on your main striker and also have an option off the bench if you want to go 2 strikers and you're chasing a game at any point. This is what you have. He adds depth to the squad. We saw how well managed Mason Greenwood was, at least on the pitch, in terms of getting into the first team. Having another option like that with that possible sort of ceiling could have a real good sort of impact on it as well. I'm probably also going to looking at some of the relegated players. Who could we bring in from there? Some of the free transfers. There's so many little videos that we've got coming out. So hit that subscribe button. Stick around for all of these. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.